His family has put summer vacations on hold because they can't afford the price of gas. One White House move may take the cake for the worst possible timing. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy appeared on Fox News to promote his new series, Great American Road Trip.
So we're inviting you along with our family on the Great American Road Trip. Stop scrolling and hit the road, mile by mile, window down, and hearts wide open.
Over the course of 7 months, we just kind of found these moments where I might be able to do some work. I could take the kids with me, do a road trip. It fits any budget to do a road trip.
Yeah, you heard that correctly. The Transportation Secretary says he spent 7 months while on a government payroll filming a family road trip show. After facing backlash, Secretary Duffy put out an extensive statement defending the show, writing, "The radical, miserable left is upset because they don't want you to celebrate America." And clarifying that his 7 months comment, he says, the series was filmed over the course of many months in small 1 day or 2 stops. He also stressed that taxpayers did not foot the bill. Instead, costs were paid for by a nonprofit, the Great American Road Trip, Inc. But that's problematic in its own way, since many of the corporations sponsoring that nonprofit have business before the Department of Transportation. Now, DOT says not to worry because career ethics officials at the department reviewed and approved both the secretary's participation and individual travel in accordance with the department's ethics rules. But if those ethics reviews are anything like the legal analysis behind Donald Trump's newest project, that doesn't necessarily inspire confidence. Remember Trump's plan to turn the reflecting pool blue? Well, according to the New York Times, the Trump administration has skirted ethics rules to award a nearly $7 million contract to a hand-picked vendor. Federal contracting rules normally require competitive bidding for government contracts so that the best deal goes to taxpayers. But the administration invoked a special emergency exemption, one intended only for situations involving potential serious injury, financial or other, to the government. What was that emergency exactly? As a White House spokesperson told the New York Times, this project is now being completed at Trump speed to ensure that the iconic landmark is totally restored ahead of the 250th celebrations. Joining us now is Dana Milbank, columnist for Notice, which is soon to be known as The Star. Dana, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
You should see me and Jonathan like, oh my God. Sorry, Jackie.
Well, okay, so let's start with the road trip. Secretary Duffy's reality television show. It was started 7 months ago, so ostensibly it has chronicled the massive spike in gas prices. Do you think that the show is going to reflect any of the economic reality of what Americans are seeing right now?
Well, apparently not, because the secretary says that every American can afford a road trip at this point. So, no, I don't think we'll be seeing any of that. But I love this point that, well, the taxpayers weren't paying for that. Of course, we, the taxpayers, were paying for it because we pay that man's salary to be our transportation secretary. And he was off doing this instead. It just sort of feels to me like the cabinet members see the president of the United States and his family breaking in, I don't know, what is it, $4 billion from crypto and other things, using his office to profit from it. And they're all saying, well, why don't I get a little bit of the action? Why don't I do some self-aggrandizement on the taxpayer dime? But yeah, he could not have expected, I don't think he was thinking $4.50 a gallon gas when he started this project.
Dana, I think one thing that's going to be interesting is I assume there are going to be a lot of follow-ups and investigations from lots of very good reporters on how much this cost. When people in government say the taxpayers didn't pay it or pay for it, I think that's when we as journalists should be very concerned, because then you have sponsors that have often business before the government. So let's take a look at E4. Renee, please. Sponsors for Sean Duffy's road trip. Let's put that up there. Boeing, Toyota, Shell, Google, Royal Caribbean Group, Chase Travel, United Airlines, Comcast, Universal, and Enterprise. Dana, many of those names are directly regulated by the Department of Transportation. There used to be a time in Washington, D.C., where the whiff of impropriety, the possibility that someone out there, a random person, could see something and say, that sounds like corruption, that would be enough to stop government officials from doing something like this.
Right.
That time
Eugene,
is gone.
It feels like we're the proverbial frog in the pot here, and it's like in any other administration, this would be a major scandal. But what are we looking at? The President of the United States is about to get his $400 million aircraft.
Used.
From
it's
the
used,
Middle Eastern
Dana.
Kingdom.
It's
Sorry.
a used plane. It's not new. I insist.
He does.
Go on. I
Used plane
interrupted you.
there. They are keeping the internal, the interior decorating on that plane, but it is getting a nice new red, white, and a deeper blue color, which I believe will now match the reflecting pond.
Oh, Lord. Dana, this stuff just drives me to distraction. You know who else is upset about this? About Secretary Duffy's road trip and how, like, if you criticize him for doing this, you hate America?
Yes.
Let me read you Chasten Buttigieg's tweet responding to the Duffy road trip. The same Duffys who threw endless fits on national television when Pete was working from our son's ICU bedside are now bragging about their multi-month taxpayer-funded family road trip while gas and grocery prices soar for American families because of Trump's war of choice. How much more unfocused, unserious, and out of touch can you be? No need for me to gild that lily. I mean, the hypocrisy it's just rank with these folks.
Jonathan, it's incredible, but the thing is, it just keeps happening, right? We can talk about, scandal of the week after week after week, and I do think we've gotten sensitized to it. But I think you're right to let's pull out just one of these and look at it, because it is easy to forget just how much grift, just how much corruption is going on at any given point. Now, given the